is particularly happy. Oh, hang on. Maybe it is because in fact, the eval bars everywhere are all but in the middle. So I take back what I just said. Just turns out some players, when they're winning, also look equally nervous.
We saw the interview, and we've seen them with Bodana. Her dad says, I don't even know if she's better or losing, because the players try to remain stoic as best they can. Composure is important. But right now, Team Poland, they look like they're wobbling. Duda may be winning on board 1 all the way to the left of our screen, but the other 2 games are heavily in favor of the Austrian players, Dominik Horvath and Felix Bloberger. So yeah, that's a great feature chat. Wojtaszek and Duda are great on boards 1 and 2, but look what's happening on boards 3 and 4.
Yes, indeed. It appears to be one-way traffic going towards Austria. Ooh, big update there. Wang Yue has defeated Tuan Minh Tran on board 4. So that is the critical breakthrough in China versus Vietnam. There you go. China on course then to win that match result. Oh, wow. And Alexei Shirov has fallen as well. Georgia versus Spain, board 1.
It's the Olympiad. We see all sorts of decisive games and all sorts of fun matchups. Spain currently trails 2-1 against Georgia, and the 1 game remaining, they're down upon. So Georgia looks like they are ready to take down Spain, and we see Ray Robson drew against Parligra from Romania. So the US8 squad, they are relying, in fact, on Fabiano Caruana to win them the match.
So let's take a look now at one of boards 3 or 4. It looks like material is equal on board 4, if I'm not completely mistaken, Robert. Board 3 looks like a series of queen checks, but I can't work out to what extent that means an imminent breakthrough. Which board would you prefer?
I'm happy to go wherever, and I'm just looking at these games, and it looks like... Wait, what is happening in the Duda game? Wait.
Let's go there first. Let's take a look at board number 1 and see what's going on. Oh, God. Hello, Eval Bar. You noticed it a couple of seconds before I did. Critical mistake, and suddenly this is no longer winning for white?
Why would that be? Because, wait a second. Black just took a bishop. This is what I was confused about. I didn't even see the evaluation. There was a move, rook takes bishop, and instead of taking back with the king, you can't take with the rook, you get checkmated. He went king to h2 on move 36, just to show that once more. King takes f1, queen d1 check, bishop e1. White is up a healthy exchange. There's a rook over here compared to a knight, and he instead goes king to h2. Oh my goodness!
Why?
Queen takes... A queen sacrifice? What's happening?
Is this transmission being hacked? What's going on here? This is wild. We've just had 2 wild swings of the eval bar in pretty much just as many seconds. I thought I knew how to play chess. I clearly don't.
So now the camera was behind, and you could see Duda. He had some choice words about his last few turns. Queen takes... This is maybe one of the moves of the entire Olympiad. How it doesn't get a brilliant symbol is beyond me. Giving up the queen for 1 little pawn, that is an unbelievable find, because, John, after takes, rook takes f2 check, I think Duda might have thought his king was going to go ahead and win this knight. But after king g3, rook f3 check, if you take the knight, it's good knight. Rook h3 is mate. The bishop still is alive, and that helps deliver the checkmate.
That's ridiculous. So that's a... and that would have been... Wait, rook takes f2 check on move 37. So we're trying to go for the checkmating threats leading into the time control. And there is so much shaking of the head there in the camera that you can see above. But King h2 just feels really unreal.
He missed it.
I can't believe that happened.
But who's looking at queen takes h3 check except for Valentin Dragnev? This is how you earn your Olympiad team some points. You think, oh, the queen will just move back, then I'll take this bishop with my rook. I'm feeling more confident. The queen has to stay in line with this bishop on d7, so can't even go to g6 to try and checkmate me. These are the thoughts that are going through your head. You clearly missed queen takes h3 check. No part of him saw that. And after takes, we see that he has, look at him. He's distraught because Team Poland needed this game. And if king to g1, the rook slides to g2 with check, the bishop takes this pawn on h3, and maybe that's what he has to do, John. Maybe he has to risk a loss at this stage trying to win, because we see what's happening to Poland on the other boards.
I mean, risk a loss to try to win is all well and good, but he's quickly running out of pieces to do that with, Robert. Like, the last 4 or 5 moves from these players have been absolutely wild. I love the fact that the queen sacrifice came in there. But Duda, I feel like the body language honestly just said it all. Absolutely incredible stuff. And now, if we go by evaluation, although things can always swing on a moment's notice in chess, as we all know, they make a draw on board 1 and Austria are winning on the bottom 2 boards, then that means Austria are on course to win 3-1 now. There wasn't any margin for error before, and now it's desperation station. And
we see that Duda, on the DGT board, he brought his king up to g3. I think he's just trying to repeat moves once to reach move 40 before he makes his decision. Let's zoom out to our 4-board view to see the full happenings in this match, because Duda, he will decide whether he plays on, tries to win this game, or acquiesces to the draw. Because what's happening in the other boards, John, that is going to allow him to make his determination. If both of the other boards lose, why should he also lose? The match is already over. So is there hope on boards 3 and 4 is the big question.
So board number 4 looks... I'm a little bit less certain about board 4. Board 3 looks really, really fun and dynamic. Maybe we can go ahead and take a look at some of the tactics on board 3 while we wait for board 1 to potentially resolve itself. Let's see if we can get into that. That's between Purin and Horvath. But from what we can see here, lots of queen checks about, knights appearing to defend specific squares around the king to make some of those checks a little bit more difficult. What do you make of that position?
Okay, well, we have our choice. Look, we have all these players with heads in hands, and I just don't even know where to go, because this is time trouble, John. Everyone is struggling to find those moves to reach move 40. Duda just allowed a queen sacrifice for the ages against Dragnev. And Team Austria, I know we're looking at the 4 boards here. This is very surprising for the Polish squad to accept.
The way that match, well, I would say the match turned in an instant, but Team Austria, to be fair to them, they were looking advantageous on boards 3 and 4 beforehand, right? So they hadn't converted the points. But to be fair to Team Austria, they were looking at, with best play, a 2.5, 1.5 win. Rather than fortune reversals, we are seeing now an even stronger potential result for the Austrian team. And look at that laser focus on the board. Dragnev knows what is on the line here, and he just wants to make sure he can carry it over the line. Not only that, Duda's just made a couple of mistakes. He's visibly distraught at the board. I don't know about you, Robert, but when my opponent is acting like that at the board, or if they've just made a mistake, I want to see if I can prompt a further mistake from them. Maybe it's not a draw. Maybe I can win this now.
It just looks like this is a repetition for the 3rd time. So if Dragnev wants to win, it's not happening in this game. I really believe that it would require Duda to avoid the repetition and then just get desperate for a victory. But this is really shocking stuff. Queen takes h3 check. I think we need to see an instant replay for that like 20 more times and put it on Sports Center, on Chess Center. Queen takes h3 in this game. I mean, just sacrificing the queen for a pawn was unbelievable. Just one more instant replay. Just a round of applause for Valentin Dragnev. That's it.
Really, really nice to see that follow up from afar and then play that left Duda shaking his head. And that was, yeah, Dragnev completely stoic at the board right now. And he's looking for further opportunity here. Honestly, this is rough. They've made the time control. Duda stepped away from the board now, maybe just to reset mentally and try and get back in the zone, which is good because he was so visibly distraught before that I was really worried we would see a follow-up mistake.
And Duda's away from the board, so for Dragnev, he gains those 30 minutes after reaching move 40, and well, he has time to decide what to do next, when the draw will be agreed upon or not. And this is big for Team Austria. They're fighters. They're showing that they can hang even with higher rated Polish teams and others as well.
Dragnev, by the way, biked, and I think that's a push bike as opposed to a motorbike, from Austria to Hungary to get here as well. There is the handshake. You called it, Robert. It doesn't look like we're getting any further push, but look at the look on Duda's face. That honestly